The Colts continuously going into free agent are like Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob. They're very stingy. They're very quiet. They don't like to do much, and it's getting pretty frustrating, to be honest. If you look at this team, there's a few major needs. You look at edge rush, depending on Quiddy Pay's development, which you're banking on. There's left tackle, where you don't really have anyone, even though Matt Pryor is coming back, you don't necessarily have anyone over there that is going to make a big difference, that can protect your quarterback on a daily basis. No matter who that guy is, you need to protect that blind side. You need to have a left tackle that can protect that guy. So I'd like to welcome you to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan's welcome. And if you enjoy Colts content, sports content, NFL news, make sure you like, subscribe, put that post notification bell on so you don't miss any future videos. And man, it's getting very frustrating because, like I've said, two of the Colts' biggest needs, right? Edge rush, tackle, quarterback is up there. Quarterback is number one, right? But don't forget there are other parts of the team that you need to build. Don't forget that there's a guy like Chandler Jones out there. There's a guy like Teron Armstead out there. Like I said earlier, you need to be able to protect your guy. You need to be able to protect that guy, whoever it is back there, whether it's Sam Ellinger, whether no matter who it is, Sam Howell, Minshew, Mariota. It doesn't matter who it is. You need to protect that blind side. You need to protect them. You need that left tackle to be able to do that on a consistent basis. Now, much easier said than done, but when you have a chance to go out there and get a tackle that's one of the best in the league and Teron Armstead, go do it. Go make the difference. Because if you have a left tackle and Quentin Nelson at left guard, we saw what happened with Anthony Cassanzo and Big Q. It was amazing. They were amazing together. And then the rest of the offensive line just gelled together very nicely. And this Colts team, they need to make some splashes. Now, they have some big-time players. They have Buckner. They have Kenny Moore. They have Darius Leonard. They have Julian Blackman, Corey Willis. They have all of these guys. Now, there's other people that you're going to be banking on the development of in Rocky Sin, who actually had a pretty damn good year. You got Isaiah Rodgers. You have, who else outside of that? Rocky Sin, Isaiah Rodgers, outside of Kenny Moore. Not really many other guys that can come and make the big difference that you know of. So you need to stop banking on these bargain guys, that aren't going to cost you much. You have to stop banking on them coming in and filling in nicely and making a difference. Especially when you're re-signing a lot of these guys to a one-year deal, you're going to put yourself in a spot where you're going to be in the same situation next year. And what are you going to do next year? It just puts you in the same cycle of, oh, we got him for this year, but we're going to have to be ready for next year. It's the same cycle over and over again, and that couldn't be said more for the quarterback position either. When you sign these Band-Aid guys, it's just going to give you more problems on the road. It's just going to give you more needs down the road because they're all eventually going to, need a new contract after 1 year. And then you're going to have other people leaving, like this year we had Jack Doyle leave. Maybe even T.Y. is going to leave. There's going to be other people that are going to leave, and then we had Justin Houston leave through free agency. We had Denico Autry leave through free agency, and it shows now it's creating more problems. It's creating more needs, making it more difficult every offseason, especially with no quarterback. And even when you don't have no quarterback, you have to have everything perfect, damn near perfect. When you have a quarterback, you have room for error, but you don't even have that guy. You keep getting a bridge guy, which it gives you more problems, can make a franchise disgruntled, which Darius Leonard and numerous players have expressed their concern and their frustration with this quarterback carousel. So you need to go out and you need to go and sign a guy like Chandler Jones. You need to go out and sign a guy like Teron Armstead to maybe nice 3-4 year deal. They're not going to be cheap. But Chris Ballard, he thinks he's gonna find everything in the draft or in a bargain guy, and that's where I disagree with him. I love Chris Ballard. His ability to see talent is great. I love that he tries to get bargain guys to have an amazing year, but sometimes you just need to go out and just get the guy instead of a guy. And I feel like that's his biggest downfall. He's always trying to penny pinch. He's always stingy. And I get it, you have to be. But at the same time, Look at the rest of the AFC. Look at the Rams. Very rare situation where they just sign a bunch of people and trade for a bunch of people and it works. I'm not saying you go out and be that damn aggressive, but look what the Broncos did. They were aggressive with the quarterback, and now they're in Super Bowl contention because they were aggressive. They weren't scared to go and give up some big first-round picks. Now, it does hurt to give up first-round picks like that and some decent players, but it puts them in contention. They're going to be a very good team. They have a lot of very good players. On paper, they're good anyway, so we're going to have to see how they do in person, on the field, but they look very good. Everyone has been saying they're a quarterback away for quite some time, and they kept going after bargain guys, after cheap guys, and expecting them to take them to the next level. That's what the Colts do with every position almost. And that's my biggest problem. They need to figure something out. They did re-sign a few guys like Ashton Doolin. They re-signed Matt Pryor, Zaire Franklin. They didn't re-sign Chris Reed, Taylor Stallworth, AQM. There were some guys I would like to see them re-sign that they didn't. I'd like to see them re-sign Kamarko Ture. I did like that they re-signed Matt Pryor. And they did re-sign Molly Cox on that 3-year deal. And they did lose Mark Lewinsky to the Giants. So that's another loss there. And he was one of those rare examples where you sign as a Band-Aid. You thought Mark Lewinsky was going to come in and maybe compete, but he came in and he was really damn good for 3 years, and I feel like Chris Ballard is always trying to prove people wrong. Sometimes that's not the point. You need to just go out and get someone that can perform. You don't need to be out to prove people wrong. I feel like that's what he does sometimes when he signs those small guys, because he does it an awful lot, and he's stingy. I get it, you want to build your draft. I get it, you want to pay your own guys, but you got to realize where some positions you struggle to draft for, even wide receiver he struggled to draft for. He's brought in Michael Pittman Jr., who has been a really solid receiving option. Other than that, he hasn't brought him many receiving options at all. Zach Pascal is okay, whatever. He's not great. He gets like 300 yards, 400 yards a season. He had one season where he had like 800, I think. He has games where he's good in big moments, but he has games where he absolutely sucks and he's wildly inconsistent. He rarely has those big games. Molly Cox, he's not really a receiving threat that much. He is. He's big. He makes some big catches, but he's another inconsistent guy. He's a great run blocker. It's another thing. This offensive line, they're all amazing run blockers. They're not all amazing pass blockers, but they're all amazing run blockers. Same for goes with the receivers. There's a lot of really damn good run blockers, but you just need some people that can make the difference in the pass game. Sometimes it's not always about the run blocking. And I just feel Chris Ballard has to find that mix between new school and old school. His team is very old school. Got a lot of big run blocking receivers, a big run blocking offensive line, big run blocking tight ends except for Kylan Granson. You need some guys. I really like Jonathan Taylor. I really love Jonathan Taylor. He hit home. He's very good at running back. That's one thing he's very good with. He's very good with offensive linemen, but he struggles with defensive linemen. He has struggled with corners. He has struggled with wide receivers. And the most important position of all is quarterback. And granted, that's the hardest position to evaluate one of them. But you can't be scared to go all in. You got to spend some of that money. You have so much money. We already paid some of our big stars. You paid Leonard. You paid Smith. We're going to pay Quentin Nelson, but is he really going to take up that much? No. You need to go out and make some big moves, whether it's Chandler Jones, Teron Armstead. Sound like a broken record because I keep saying the same thing over and over again, but it's true, in my opinion. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode. These are my opinions on Chris Ballard and, how this team and how this Colts team builds. So you guys need to let me know what you think. I let you guys know what I think. Give me your thoughts on all this, and appreciate you tuning into the JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan is welcome. And just my opinion, man. Just my opinion. Chris Ballard can't get it figured out. He may not be the GM for us. Can't believe I'm saying that, but it's the truth. You could get all important positions correct. You could get all that figured out. But if you don't get the most important one figured out, and if you're not aggressive, you're going to struggle for a very long time. So, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, put that post notification bell on. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. This is JDW Sports Talk Show, signing off.